Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I am so excited for today's video. We are going to be doing another build your own palette, again in collaboration with Kara from Beauty and the Frizz. We have really been enjoying doing this series. I think we're going to keep it ongoing and we'd love to see some of you do this as well. I will be talking about that in a little bit, but wow, I have to say that this whole build your own palette experience has been great for a couple reasons. It's made me use my single shadows more, which is great, and also realize what I have in my collection. And I have to say, it was pretty surprising. Now, today's palette is going to be a sunset theme. Kara and I thought this would be a great way to say goodbye to summer, and of course, we all love a good, beautiful sunset. And I know that I've talked about Kara here on my channel before because we've had an opportunity to do a few collaborations. She is amazing. I really hope that you will check out her video as well. I know that she's gonna have a great palette and do an amazing look, so I will make sure to have her video linked down below. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on those future videos, including more build your own palettes. I'm excited. We definitely have a few themes coming up in the future. So what I did to gather some inspiration for this video was I went through my camera roll and picked out a few sunset pictures to be able to see the colors, get a vibe, and I'm really excited because, man, I love a good sunset. So if we look here, these first two pictures are actually from a trip I took in Hawaii when I was there for a Paul Mitchell training. So you can see here we have those really bright yellows with a little bit of that peachy tone, that beautiful dusky blue. And then here's one from when Jeremy and I were actually out to dinner here in Wisconsin. So again, you can see that those beautiful vibrant tones. And I love how there's such a wide variety of shades in the sunset. And then we have a couple here that Jeremy actually took down at the lake, and man, these colors are so beautiful. And you can see the evolution as the sun was going down, how it shifted. So I'm very excited to use these as my inspiration for this palette. And again, thanks babe for letting me take those pictures to use as inspo. So we're gonna get right into this. I'm gonna give you guys a peek here. We are doing 10 shades for all of our build your own palettes. And man, you guys, this was a hard one. It was so hard. I was like, is this gonna be the first one that I cheat on and have to include an extra shade or two? I went through my collection and I definitely flip-flopped these around quite a bit. And I think part of that was just, I love a good sunset story so much that I kept swatching on my arms. I had all of my shadow palettes sitting out and I was trying to get a good idea. I had swatches all over my arm. I leaned up and was trying to show Jeremy, and we got glitter all over the couch. It was crazy. So this was definitely an adventure, but I'm pretty happy with the color story that I came up with. Let's get into some close-up swatches and we'll go ahead and do a look. All right, so I still have my pictures sitting out here for reference just so I can chat with you guys about these shades and where I sort of came up with the inspo for these. So right off of the bat, I knew that I wanted to include a really bright, yellowy, goldy shade, more of that really light lemon cream shade that makes me think of the very center of the sunburst as the sun is going down, because you have that beautiful light shade. So what I chose for this is actually a new one to me. This is the shade Sol, which is funny. That's exactly what it is. The Sol shade from Clionadh. This is one of their round pan formulas. I honestly have only swatched this one. I haven't used it yet. I did just get some round pans when they did their restock, and I'm actually going to be filming that swatch video after this. So I'm sure that video will be up right after this one. So make sure that you're subscribed if you want to see my haul from Clionadh. So this shade is so pretty, and it has a little bit of a unique shift to it. It is again a duochrome, and it's like a lemon cream, but it has a little bit of, I would say almost a little bit of a bluey green shift to it. So the reason that I chose this one is I do think it emulates that vibe of actual light, sunlight. There were a few shades in my collection that were more yellow, so I was like, ugh, but that's not really what you see in a sunset. It's more of that yellowy white almost. So I really do like this one. I always know that I need to have at least one light shade for a beautiful bright pop of an inner corner highlight, or even a little bit of a brow bone highlight. I just like to have that option in a palette. And when I chose these colors, I really wanted to pick colors that it's okay, is this a cohesive color story? Is this something that you could get several different looks for that a multitude of people could enjoy. And I'm hoping that I hit that on the head. So moving on, the other color that I knew right away that I was going to need is a pink, a beautiful pink tone. Here's the thing. I don't have many pinks in my single shadow collection. Pink, like pink, isn't a shade that I go to a lot. If you know me, you'll know that I go towards like the rosy tones and some of those like softer shades, although I have a lot of those in like palettes. So I don't actually have a lot of pinky tones in general in my single shadows, at least as far as mattes go. But I definitely didn't have like bright, like not Barbie pink, but that really light pink that if you saw the pictures from the sunset on the lake, it's like sometimes you just see that beautiful strong tone. And then as I was digging through, I realized that in the last Devinah restock, when they actually launched this one, I got Tessa. And I am so glad I found this. I was sort of like, I don't know how she ended up in another palette, but she was in another palette and I was like, oh, Tessa, I'm totally gonna pull this one in. So this is this beautiful matte. It is definitely, I mean, you can build this up to be quite vibrant, but I think we could also sheer it out to get that, you know, more like, I mean, still bright, but not quite as dark shade. So I think that this is going to be a really fun one to be able to play with. And again, if I could, it would be like a slight bit warmer, but I think with some of the other shades in here, you'll be able to layer and like get that vibe. So I'm definitely glad I found Tessa in my collection, but it's funny because like as my many palettes of single shadows were splayed out on my living room floor, I was like, well, I obviously need more. I obviously need some pink mattes. So I will probably be getting more in the future. I'm actually going to look into some of the Devinah shades because if you guys know, you know that Devinah has some of my favorite mattes. Speaking of Devinah mattes, here's another one. This is the shade Naevia. So this to me is that warm part of the sunset that's like as it's like sinking down. I actually had a couple other shades that I was sort of flopping between. I just love like the nice pigmentation and the smoothness of the shadow. So I think this is going to be a nice one, A, because it's going to be a great shadow to be able to blend out shades with, but it really gives you that warm vibe. I will say there was a Makeup Geek shadow that has a little bit more of like a reddy orange tint to it that I liked, but honestly, it just didn't have the pigmentation that I was looking for. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put in ones that if I were swatching in a store, right? Like if we were swatching in the store, I would be like, ooh, yeah, that's a good shadow. Instead of like, So I didn't want to give you guys any like so-so shades. So here we have another beautiful warm shade. And again, this is one of my new Clionadhs. This is Salamander. So this, to me, again, evokes that warmth of the setting sun. And because this has a shift to it, this is considered a duochrome shadow. It really gives you that like sunset vibe. I would say that this is like a peachy orange with a gold to it, if you guys can see that shift. Now I will be doing a close-up of all of these shades once I have the swatches all done so that you guys can see up in detail, and then I'll also make sure to have all the shades listed down below in the description box if you want to check any of these out. So next on the list is another one that it just evokes that beautiful warmth and light. And I definitely wanted to have some beautiful popping shimmers in this palette just because like to me that evokes that feeling of like light. And I know I keep saying that, but it really does. So this is the shade Cygnus from Devinah. This is a Galaxy Dust Shifter, I do believe, and she is so pretty. This has like a pink to it, and it also has like a nice, it's like a pinky with a bit of violet, but also like a copper tone to it. Again, beautiful shade. This one is so pretty and the shift on it is great. So I think this is gonna be a fun one to be able to pair with some of these shades. So now we have a nice deep shade. I wanted something that has that like deep purpley blue. And I was hoping that I would have like a light dusty blue to be able to represent like the part of the sky as, you know, the sun is going down. And I don't have that many blues in my collection. Again, pinks and blues are something that I'm gonna need to add. But I did find a couple beautiful like purpley blue or gray purples that we're going to add in, and this is one of them. This is Duchess from Makeup Geek, and again, this is their original formula. I don't have any of the newer Makeup Geek shadows, but some of you might have some of these, and so this is this beautiful, like, again, kind of like a purpley blue gray. And this to me really, it just really shows that like dark setting sun, the sky's getting deep and hazy, and I really like this color. The shadow isn't like swatching the best, but it is a beautiful, there we go. We just needed to kind of like get a good swatch of that. So again, this is like a purple blue. So that was the best that I could do in my collection. I really do like this one. So she is going to represent the like deepening of the sky. Now on the other end of the spectrum, I wanted another shade that has a nice bright tone to it, something that's gonna give us that beautiful, like, again, that pop of lightness. And I thought that this was beautiful. This is Capri, again, from Devinah Cosmetics. And this is, I mean, it's straight up like buttercream. And I thought that this would be nice if you wanted to use any of these shimmer shades all over the lid, and then you just wanted something to like easily sort of like blow that out with. This shade would be nice. You could also mix this one and the orange shade, or even like with the pink, to be able to get that like soft blown out effect if you're looking for that. So this was one that I just thought really represented that like sun feel. I just needed that brightness of the sun. So getting back to the darker side of life, we have Beetlejuice. This is a Glamshop shade. You guys had to know I was going to include at least one Glamshop in here. And this again evokes that beautiful like purpley blue. Now this is one of the Velvet Shadows. So the Velvet Shadows, sorry, I should probably hold this up so you guys can see. The Velvet Shadows are like a, I would say that they are a soft satin that contain tons of micro glitter. So since this one's on my pinky, I'm just going to like widen this swatch a little bit. So this Beetlejuice shade, and you'll probably be able to see the magic of it as we get up close. It is that beautiful like dusky purple, and then it has blue micro shimmer in it. So I thought that this again really evoked that like very end of the sunset when you're getting that like deep rich tone, but again the sparkle just represents the light a little bit. So I really like this. Maybe I like maybe I thought into this too much. I can't wait to see what Kara says, because I'm like, did I just like dive too deep into trying to figure this out? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I was really hoping to do a sunset justice. So this is one that I knew off the top of my head that I was going to include. This is again a Devinah matte. Sorry for all the Devinah, but I really do love these mattes. This is Esme. So this is like a Gripple. It is like a taupey purpley gray, and it is gorgeous. I mean, this is again going to represent that like deepening of the sky. I think that this is a great shade to throw in your crease. You can build it up to be a little bit deeper, or you can sheer it out. And I think that this would be a quick, easy one to add to some of these shimmer shades just for like a quick 2 shadow look. This will be great to like diffuse the deepness of Duchess if you don't want something quite so deep. So I just wanted like an array of depths and an array of colors as well. Now, like I said, I was really hoping to add like a sky blue, or like, you know, that like dusty sky blue shade, which I don't have. But when I was going through my shadows, I thought that this, while it's on the other end of the spectrum, I thought this would be a really nice way to add that pop of blue. And it's also another one to have for like a light, bright inner corner. This is Glow from Clionadh, and this is more of an iridescent shade, so it also makes a beautiful topper. I'm gonna try to get one finger cleaned off here so that I can do this shadow justice. So again, it's more of that like white base, but then it has some beautiful blue and purple and almost like a teal shift to it. So I played around with this last night, topping it over a few of the shades. So you could definitely use this as a topper over the deeper purples. It was actually really pretty over the pink as well. So this also just gives us that little hint of blue, and I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see that when we zoom in. So I think that this also is a nice option, because then we have 2 really nice light bright shades to be able to use for that pop on the inner corner if you want to do like a really nice bright halo eye or something. So this is my sunset collection. I am actually pretty happy with it. I'm excited to play around with it. And actually, if you didn't get to see the last palette that we did, it was like Take Me to the Beach. And that palette I actually left out in that palette to be able to play with. And I had so much fun with it, because I really was able to create some looks. Remember the beautiful single shadows that I have, so I will definitely be doing the same with this because I think that this will be a nice one to be able to use in the upcoming weeks. So this is a lot of fun. So now let's go ahead and zoom in. I'm gonna give you an up close of all these shades. These beautiful colors. I think that this really does evoke, again, I wish that I had a little bit more blue, but with 10 shades and not having enough blue shades in my collection, I really did. I kind of flip-flopped around. So you can see here that shift in that glow shade is so pretty. And there you can see that shimmer in Beetlejuice as well. And this is that Cygnus shade. So again, we've got a couple like very shifty shades that I think gives you a lot of options to play with. So you'll have to let me know, what do you think? Wow, this is one janky swatch here. They're like combined. All right, now it's time to play. I am going to try to use quite a few of these shades. I really want to see that like beautiful sunset moment. We will see how we do. And some of these shifty shades, I don't feel like you're going to truly see the magic of them unless you like lay them across the whole lid, but we will try to let the magic shine and see what we come up with. So I am going to try to use these photos as like inspiration for where I go with this look. So I think I'm going to do like bright on the inner corner, of course, and then like fading into warmer and then like that cooler moment. We'll see how we do. And I think we're gonna start with that Salamander shade from Clionadh, just to lay down on like the inner third, and then maybe we'll use Cygnus on like the outer 2/3. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. So to make sure we get some nice pop, I am gonna go through and prime my eye, just going through with the Glam Glue. And like I said, I haven't used this shade yet, so I'm hoping that we don't have a crazy ton of fallout. Nope, looks pretty good. So again, this is actually just dry on the brush, but I did use that Glam Glue to be able to like get it to stick nice. That is a really pretty shade. I'm going to just flip the brush over and use Cygnus on the outer part. These two shades actually go together really, really well. Wow, that shade looks so pretty. I am so glad that I put this one in. It is definitely giving sunset vibes. I could have actually left Salamander out of the palette, but Salamander doesn't have that like true like pinky purple shift to it. So it's nice to have the option, but there's something magic about the Devinah Galaxy Dust Shifters. I really do like that formula. Like there's just something magical about it, but I do like this transition. All right, so as much as I want to use that like glow shade from Clionadh, I really kind of want to keep this like warmth into the cool on the outside. So I'm probably just going to go through with that Sol shade as my inner corner highlight. I know that Kara and I are talking about doing an Instagram live together using this palette. Well, she'll use hers obviously and I'll use mine, but using these palettes again to create another look with you guys on Instagram. We really want to, you know, involve the whole beauty community in this, and so we thought that that would be a fun way to, you know, kind of be working on a different platform with potentially different viewers. And if you want to see another look using this palette, that would be a great way to be able to do that. So make sure that you are following both Kara and I so you can keep updated on that Instagram live. I am Keep Beauty Real, and I believe Kara is Beauty in the Frizz, but I will make sure to have all of her social info down below. It should be a fun way to get together and use our palettes again. Okay, I kind of went a little ham on this inner corner, but that's okay. I like a good bright inner corner, but now I'm like, I got it so like deep in that I was like, well, okay, you might as well make it look purposeful. So I'm just like really drawing this into that inner corner. And seriously, this BK204 brush works really good if you want like a stronger pop on the inner corner. I really like it. All right, I'm taking the Refer 14. This is stained from another purple shadow, but I'm gonna go into Duchess from Makeup Geek and take a little bit of that and just really start building up in the crease. I love this color combo. Look, the combo of those like warm, pinky, orangey tones with a good purple, so good. Right, taking that same brush into Tessa, we're just going to, right where that purple starts to fade out, I'm adding in that pink. And I'm kind of keeping it into the like outer 2/3 because I think I'm gonna take one of the warmer shades and pop it in here to sort of like blend. And I did get, let's see, let's go into that really light yellow shade Capri from Devinah, and we're just going to add this into this front corner. Now I want to make sure that I'm not mixing it in too much into that purple, or else we're gonna get kind of like a murky brown. So I need to kind of like blend quickly. And this, where it meets that pink, is going to start creating like a nice orange tone, which is why I didn't feel like I needed a super bright orange, because you can definitely get that by mixing Tessa and Capri together. So in a 10 pen palette, you know, we gotta work with what we got. So I'm going like almost right above that purple that I put in to like almost like skip it and go above into the pink of Tessa. And then what I'll do is take that original brush that we used, just make sure to wipe it off on a microfiber towel, and then I'm gonna go into that dusty shade Esme, and I'm just gonna tap enough right here where that Duchess starts to make a nice little blend. So that it all is like cohesive, nothing's murky, but it doesn't look like hella patchy either. Okay, I think on the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with Beetlejuice. I'm just trying to use as many of the shades as I can in this. So I'm gonna go in with Beetlejuice and a smudge brush from Sigma, the E21, and we're just going to lay this color down underneath the lash line. I might end up blending it out with Duchess, but we will see. And I'm definitely wetting my brush with this one just so I don't end up with like dark blue glitter flecks all under my eye. Whoa, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna take that smudge brush and just tap a little bit and blend it like up into the outer corner on top. All right, I am really happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and do this eye off camera, throw on some lashes. I'll be right back. All right, here we have the final look, and I really like it. So I did go ahead and ended up just intensifying that Duchess shade in my crease, the darkest purple. I just wanted something like a little bit more dramatic right there. And I just, as I was going through, I was like, oh yeah, we want a little bit more. So I brought it in a little bit and made it a little darker. Other than that, I feel like I kept everything the same. I will say it's not very often that I do one whole eye and then do the other eye, especially when it's like a multi-step process. And it took me a little bit to get them to match up, but that is all right. I really like this. I did also go ahead and I put on a little bit of black liner. I went through with the Ardell magnetic liner, and then I actually just have an accent lash on the outside. This is the Accent 002 lash from Ardell. So it came in this like kit. So there was the liner and the lash. I will say like these lashes definitely feel like fake lashes, like not on the eye, but they just feel plastic. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted that little bit of pop for the outside. I didn't want something that's gonna cover up the beautiful like fadey tones. And so this is kind of where I wanted it to be. And they're easy to put on and take off. I'm going to be washing all this off in a little bit and doing another video. So I wanted something that was like pretty easy peasy to get off. And I didn't want to have a bunch of adhesive to try to get out of my lashes. So I think that just gave it that little extra pop that I needed. And obviously Ardell has very inexpensive lashes. So I like it. The liner is okay. I did use the Inglot Duraline to sort of like thin it out a little bit more. It's okay. It's not a favorite, but I don't hate it either, if that makes any sense. So just a little mini review there. But if you're on a budget and you want magnetic lashes and liner to try out, it's pretty decent. So now we need something on our lips. I was thinking maybe like a bright pink, but then I don't want to feel like overly made up, and I feel like something really dark is gonna be too much. So I actually just saw that I have this Pink Astral Lip Fetish Astral Lip Balm. So I thought what I would do is throw this on, and then if we need to like intensify the outer edges just to like get a crisp line, we can go ahead and find a lip liner to put on. So let's try this and see what we think. Yeah. Oh, these smell so good. Yummy. See, I think that this is nice. If you're gonna have a really intense eye look, I feel like, I mean, this lip, obviously with like the duochrome shift it has, it's got some pop to it, but it's more subdued. So I think I'm gonna go find a color I can use as like a definition shade for the outer part of my lips. I'll come back, we can chat a little bit more about this sunset palette and how Kara and I would love to see you get involved in our BYOP extravaganza. I feel like this palette really epitomizes that moment, that really bright moment in a sunset where you're just like, wow, where's my camera? I really want to take a picture. And I love that. I think if this were a 15 pan palette, I probably would have included some even darker, deeper shades to really get that like dusky moment of a sunset. But we had our limits and I really love this. I think that this color story really lends itself to a lot of different looks. You could certainly go monochromatic. You have like the pinks, the peaches, the purples. You could do light and ethereal by just taking one of the shimmer shades and blowing it out and then just one of the mattes through your crease. That would be really pretty and simple, but you can definitely get a beautiful multicolored look as well. So I just want to say thanks again to Kara for collaborating on this. And as I'd mentioned before, Kara and I would love to see more people join in on this collab with us. We're just going to have an open, no pressure situation here. We're going to have a community playlist that anyone can add a video into. If you feel inspired to build your own palette with one of our themes, please make sure to add your video to that playlist. I will make sure to have it linked down below. Or if you are on Instagram and you want to show us a picture or an eye look that you created with your palette, we'd love to see you there. Just tag us so we can share it in our stories. We're really wanting this to be an interactive journey so that we can all start using our makeup, play with our single shadows, and have fun with it. So if you are coming over from Kara's channel, I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, I'd love to have you subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks to everyone so much. It means a lot that we get to spend part of our day together, and I'll see you really soon.